Hey YouTube, Peter Plays Bass here, back with a Vikings video. It has been years since I made a Vikings video, and a couple of the guys in the forum over at dailynorseman.com inspired me. They said, why don't you make another Vikings video? I used to watch yours. So I'm going to give this a try. I haven't scripted this. I'm going to do it in one take. I'm not going to put a ton of production value into it, but I'm just going to talk about my feelings about the Vikings, and if anyone's interested in watching or hitting the like button or commenting, that's totally cool. So, wow, we're headed into week 3 of the 2016 series, and here's what's going on. In the offseason, Teddy Bridgewater hurt his knee in a non-contact drill in practice. Crazy. The Vikings sign Sam Bradford. Exciting. I was thinking they'd go maybe like Mark Sanchez, somebody with a reasonable contract that the team, that held him wouldn't be too adverse to trading him away. But that didn't happen. They just went out and got Sam Bradford from the Philadelphia Eagles for a first-round pick and a conditional fourth-round pick in the year after, 2018. That becomes a third-round pick if the Vikings go to the NFC Championship this year, regardless of whether they win or lose, and it becomes a second-round pick if they win the Super Bowl. So we're all hoping that it does. He played great in Week 2 against the Green Bay Packers, opening up US Bank Stadium, and Sean Hill played well enough in Tennessee in Week 1 that the Vikings are at 2-0, and they're headed to Carolina, and we think they'll play in the Carolina Panthers stadium, but we don't know yet because there's civil unrest due to protesters and police and stuff. That's not the point of this video. So they're headed to Carolina, going to play the Panthers. We'll see how it goes. Right now, the Panthers running back Jonathan Stewart is out. They lost linebacker or defensive back Josh Norman. He's the one that had that big brouhaha with, what's his name from the Giants? Odell Beckham Jr. last year. He's moved on. He plays for a different team. I think the Redskins now. So Carolina's not crazy good like they used to be. They went 15-1 last year. That feels like they played like the record was a little better than what they were. They were maybe more like a 12-win team in my estimation, and they've lost a couple of pieces since then. However, Cam Newton's playing great. Their wide receiver Kelvin Benjamin is back. He missed whole last season with injury, and it's going to be a tall order for the Vikings to go in there and get a win against a team who played in the Super Bowl last year. Now, the Vikings themselves, they've got some injuries. Like I mentioned, Teddy Bridgewater's out. Also, Adrian Peterson tore his meniscus, got surgery. Sharif Floyd just got knee surgery. He's going to be out for who knows how long. Xavier Rhodes has been hurt, missed a game or two. It looks like he's coming back this week. That would be great. Stefon Diggs, who played awesome in Week 2, was not in practice this week, and with a groin injury on the injury report is what they're saying. So I do not know what to make of this game. I mean, this is the kind of game where either team could blow the other out. Probably a little more likely Carolina blows out Minnesota than vice versa. Or it could be a close game that could go either way. So things I'll be looking for is Minnesota containing Cam Newton, not letting him flush and run, and not letting him buy time by rolling left or rolling right out of the pocket. If you can keep him in the pocket and not let him run up through the A-gap and make plays with his feet, I think that you can limit his effectiveness. It's hard to stop him totally. And also Kelvin Benjamin, big, strong receiver. I think Xavier Rhodes is a good matchup on the as a Vikings cornerback that can bump him on the line and play a physical game with him. And then Trey Waynes, of course, he's the super speedy guy, and Carolina has Ted Ginn in their receiving core, and he's a super fast guy. So I actually think it's a decent matchup for the Vikings. They need to attack Carolina's DBs a lot by throwing past the linebackers, who are very good. The problem is that Carolina has really good defensive tackles and pretty decent defensive ends, and Minnesota's offensive line has not improved much since a historically bad year last year. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of injuries and the Vikings, Minnesota lost their left tackle, Matt Kalil. He had hip surgery. He's done likely for the year. I think he's on injured reserve, as is Adrian Peterson. They can only return one player from the injured reserve during any season. So depending on recovery and all that, we'll see who comes back. hopefully Peterson with strong legs to make a push for and into and through the playoffs. I'm excited about the new stadium. I'm excited about the team. I love Coach Zimmer. I'm really excited about Teddy Bridgewater and his future. Like him a lot. But wow, Sam Bradford played great in week 2, and I think he's going to be a good 1 year to 1.5 years to maybe a 2-year player for the Vikings. And I'm hoping that they can trade him away when Bridgewater is healthy and get some of that draft equity back in future years. Will they go 3-0? I don't know. I was hoping for 4-1 going into the bye week in week 6, but I would be happy with 3-2 going into the bye week. That was how I felt before the season started. So now with a 2-0 start, it's really easy to get to 3-2 from here, in my opinion. Even though Carolina's no pushover, and New York Giants on Monday night in week 4 is not the easiest game either. And I actually don't know who the week 5 game is off the top of my head. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more Vikings videos, let me know about it in some way. Hit the like button, or really leave me a comment. Say, hey, I'm glad you're back. I missed you making videos. That will encourage me to keep going. I don't have a ton of time. I got a wife. I got 3 kids. I got a job. I got volunteer stuff that I do. I got church that I go to. And I actually have another YouTube channel. Me and my friend Ted play video games and yak and tell stories and are funny, and sort of a family-friendly format, something that we feel like we could watch with our kids. He's married. He's got 3 kids too. So that's what we got going on there. If you want to click the annotation box, it's going to appear right here. Feel free to check that out. It's called The Basement. We play old retro Nintendo games and newer games as well. And we have a good old time doing that. Otherwise, stick around. Maybe we'll see more Vikings videos in the near future. We could go over the Carolina game and then take a look at the Giants game coming up next week. All right, Vikings fans, keep it real, stay classy, and we'll see you later.